Hello. In this video, I wanted to show you a different use of Humbug. So I wanted to show you using Humbug to explore an existing code base. So the prompt you can see on the screen is a metaphor prompt that's one I wrote earlier, and it will allow you to explore a code base starting from a given file or a set of files. So we're going to use this in a second to explore the first part of the Humbug application. So you can see we're running the metaphor compiler and we're actually passing the main window to the application, and we're asking it to explain what this does. So you can see Humbug is now crunching through this. It's actually Claude Sonnet, and it's working out what's going on inside of this class, and it's explaining all the various attributes. The video is sped up slightly, just in the interest of not waiting for everything to scroll, but you can see it describing all the interesting parts of the main application class. So it's going to finish in a second, and it's summarized everything there. So we're going to start exploring this code base a little bit more. So we're going to ask it a little bit about what do the tabs do inside of Humbug? What can it work out from this first file it's read? And you can see it's got a pretty good idea of some different sorts of tabs that the Humbug application has. So conversation tabs, file editor, terminals, wikis. And so it's doing this analysis, and this so far it's just reading this first file that we've been looking at. It talks about the file tree, so this is the Mindspace tree, and we're going to get a little bit further, and it's going to tell us that it's got a fairly good idea what's going on. So let's ask it a bit about editor tabs. How do they work? And again, we now have Claude working out what's going on with the editor tab, so it explains all the capabilities that it can see based on everything in this file. So far it's still reading the main class, but it's giving us that drill down into the behavior of different parts of the system. So things will get a little bit more tricky in a while because it's going to run out of information in here. And it's telling us that the important stuff is in the column manager. So we're going to ask it about the column manager and ask it to take a look at that. And given that we have tool use in Humbug now, it can actually go and read that column manager file. It knows where to go look for it. So you can see it retrieving various files. It's actually retrieving some other ones as well. And now it's giving us an explanation of how the editor tabs work. So it's actually gone and fetched the editor tab class and the column manager class. And it's explaining how the editor itself works. So you can see it describing files and modification tracking and state persistence, various other aspects of the editor class. And then we're going to go one level deeper. So the next piece we're going to do is we're going to look at how it does syntax highlighting. Just as something else to go and look at because it's going deeper into the code base. So we're going to ask it how does syntax highlighting work. And at this point, it's going to go and do a whole bunch of tool use. It's going to go and read lots of files because it wants to understand what's going on. This is not stuff that we actually provided to it. So it's now many, many layers deep into the software. And you can see what we've got now is a description of how the lexing and parsing works inside of the syntax highlighter. It also talks about how the syntax highlighter integrates with the Qt widget set. So this is how you get the sort of nice syntax highlighting inside of these messages that we're seeing, and it's describing how this all works. You could keep going, and it'll actually go into all the details of how any aspect of it works. It even tells you about the complexity. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. This is a quick summary of one way I use Humbug to actually help me with the software development. If you're interested, please follow us on YouTube or check out the website. Thanks for watching.